to support Ukraine.
So that was Heleb. He's a 20-year-old Ukrainian student living here since the Russian invasion of his country. Here now is Michael Baskin of the Ukrainian Crisis Centre.
I feel, and I think I can share the views of many Ukrainians, the meeting in Alaska not gonna deliver any results today. It will be the talk about the between American and president and Russian president, but it's not gonna deliver any results. And Ukrainians more concentrated on the news from front lines, from battlefield, where the actual decisions are made every day. Like, I'm worried about the consequences of the meeting, which is the consequences could be increased pressure on the Ukrainian government and President Zelensky from both sides, especially from the United States of America, because that's the vital partners, but I only fear only on that outcomes. The decision, even if or agreement about transferring Russian territories or primarily agreements between two presidents, I don't see them could be implemented. So the only worries about in the diplomatical or political sense that increased pressure on the Ukrainian government to surrender. Basically, that's Putin. What's Putin looking is for Ukraine to surrender. Then he's not looking for the peace deal. He's not accepting Ukraine as the state. So I would be worried about increased pressure.
Do you see yourself returning to Ukraine?
Well, it's not directly applies to me. I'm here over 20 years. But I know many Ukrainians would like to return to Ukraine, come back home when the situation gets better. But in practical terms, people stays where their life is better, and all the statistics and outcome of the previous events like Yugoslavia war, where there would be mass migrations. People generally doesn't return home into the places where life is worse than in the country they are. They get settled, they get the jobs. A lot of Ukrainians actually do get the jobs. People goes to school, and it's been for many years. So even if a lot of people would like to return home, doesn't mean they will return. Even that's probably Irish will understand. People missing home lives in the mentioned United States and across around the world for all their life, but missing home. So,
do you still think Ukrainian people feel welcome in Ireland?
I think it's a yes and no. We hear a lot of negative stories again even during the last months, aggression towards immigrants, but I still believe it's not a majority of the Irish people, and the stories, or not the stories, but the opinions are amplified through the social media, through the bots account. And I believe, in general, people who supports Ukrainian or just has no opinion maybe on it, maybe they just understand, they wouldn't go and voice their opinions on the social media. But from my interaction with the public in general, I think majority of Irish people understand the situation and accept the Ukrainians.
So that was Michael Baskin. We heard from Heleb before, neither of whom are too optimistic about what might come from Anchorage. Why would they be? Jeff Lanfield mentioned that Sergei Lavrov is there. Do you know what he turned up at the hotel wearing? A USSR sweatshirt. So that's their attitude going into these talks. We'll have to wait and find out what comes of them a little bit later this evening here on News Talk.
The Hard Shoulder with Kieran Cuddihy.
With the MG hybrid and electric range.
Weekday